Welcome to St. Andrews State Park. Right here you see the entrance to the campground that Class C is leaving, and the dumpsters are right there so you can easily drop off your trash as you come and go from the park. We'll start our walking tour here at site number 1. Site 2. All the sites have water, electric, 30, 50 amps, and a sewer. They will support up to a 50-foot RV. Now we're going to skip some of the space. Sorry about that camera work. Walking the dog, sometimes requires me to jerk a little bit. The campground is located on the bay side of the park. So if you actually want to go to the beach on the Gulf of Mexico, you have to drive over a little ways, or you can walk. I think it's about a mile or so there. This video was filmed between Christmas and New Year's. And as you see, the park is still pretty full, even during the winter. It's really windy today, so I'm doing a voiceover, so you didn't have to hear all the wind noise. You can see from the plants and stuff moving. Coming up, we have the glamping yurts. So they have electricity, a queen bed with twin-size cots, and other amenities inside them. They look across the road into the bay. They were pretty much filled about the entire week we were there. Kind of wish I could have seen inside one. Check them out, see what they look like. I didn't want to be that nosy of a person to the people staying there. Going back to the RV sites.
Most times. Not like would be the time of year.
Dante made a friend. One thing, I don't know if you can tell on the empty sites or not, but when you leave, they come by with a rake and rake the gravel. They make sure it's nice and level. It's definitely one of the cleanest state parks we've stayed at. The campground host site. You can see the bay there in the background. As we come back around the other side, get better views of it. Most of the sites are all fairly large. Some, of course, are larger than others, but spaced out more than others. Hopefully this video gives you a good look at the different sites and help you choose one. Site. I think there was 2 or 3 of them there. And you can see all the tent flaps moving and how windy it was. So I don't know if that's a everyday thing or just the week we were there. But the breeze would be real nice in the summer if it is. Here's one of the pull-through sites, number 35. The ones in the middle of the road too are also pull-throughs, or a lot of them are. There's a good example of where oh wait, no, it's not. That's Tower Train. Some of the sites in the middle of the road. The bathhouse. There are 3 bathhouses.
10, 22-8.
As we go into this next section, there's a sign there that says no RVs, no trailers.
Interesting.
Assuming that there's nowhere to turn around down here. But I did see some parked here. A lot of vans, Class Bs were here today. There, I do have a beagle. He has to stop and sniff lots of stuff. I do my best to try not to film people when they're on their sites. But here, as we reach the end of this loop, you can see the road keeps going. That goes up to the campground store, and there's a fishing pier there. turned around now and we're headed back. You can see the bay and the city just across it. They do like their fences here. I guess they want to make sure you don't park where you're not supposed to. They seem to separate all the sites by the road. We've made it up to site number 56 now. And then we'll speed it up a little bit as we walk down past the bay to the next group of sites. It was also currently at low tide when we were filming this. If you were wondering about the water level out there. For a waterfront campsite at the ocean or the Gulf, fairly good amount of space. It's definitely not as crowded as some of the public campgrounds we've stayed at the beach, where your awning almost hits the camper next to you. There's a good bit of, space between the sites. Good view of the pull-throughs in the middle. You can see how there's the road on both sides of it. that would be a great site there with the space that you can see coming off. One of the cool things was in the morning you could watch all the fishing boats go out, and in the afternoon see them coming back in. So on this site, number 81, we have a 38-foot camper. So you can see how it fits, and there's room for both the camper and the truck on the site. It was one of the smaller sites, but we had a good time there. Don't know if you can see it, but back behind that site there's an overturned sailboat. You can see it sitting out there in the water. Don't know the history or the story behind it, but I'm guessing it was probably from one of the last hurricanes where they had to close the park down, but it did a lot of damage to it. There it is, there's the sailboat out there in the water. If I'm wrong on the type of boat, sorry, I do not know boats that well. As far as campsites views, this was probably one of the best ones we've stayed at, with being able to look out the big back window and across the bay. We're back now at the middle of the campground where the entrance is. There is a little walkway down there so you can get to the bay, and there's like a little small beach area. This is probably one of the best campsites right here for the views. You gotta pull through so the whole campsite of your camper, looks out at the water. And it does have the little walkway there between it. Let's go see what's down here. So again, it was low tide, so the beach area will not be as much during the high tide portions.
Dante is still hunting something.
Kind of see that where Dante is at, the sand's still wet. So. There's another one of the great sites with the big pull through facing the bay or lagoon. ones up here in the middle I do not think are pull-throughs. I could be wrong, but I know there's several that were back in only. Nope, it's not that one. It's a pull-through. A few of the larger sites still through here. The park did have Wi-Fi throughout it. You can see one of the Wi-Fi antennas there between those two campsites. We did not use it, so I can't comment on the speed of it. We had full service with T-Mobile 5G, so we just used our hotspot or our phone. Even though the city of Panama City is just a short drive away, and you can see it in the distance across the lagoon, it's a relatively quiet campground. Really enjoyed our time here. Can't wait to go back. Dante really spelled something good through here. Even the smallest sites, they have the little fence there. Now we're going to cross the road and go over to this other section of the camp. These sites are probably one of the only ones that do offer shade. That's important to you. There's no view of the lagoon from here because of the shade. Another one of the campground hosts.
Come on, Dante. He's not
Dante's
feeding you.
making friends. There's 2 pull-throughs in this section. The sites back here definitely seem bigger, or very large. Now we walk back around the corner, and then we're back to the waterfront sites. Now we're coming up on the few tent sites they have. I think there's around 5 or 6 of them. For most of them, there's a little walkway behind the cars you get to. And to respect the privacy of the people camping there, I didn't walk down that way. And these RV sites here, the tent sites are actually back behind them. You can kind of see from that picture where the tent is and where the RV is. So, things to consider if you book one of these sites here. Another one of the pull-throughs. This one's probably not one of my favorites because your campsite is facing the road. So if you're sitting outside your camper, you're going to see everybody going by. Not that there's a lot of traffic in the park, but they do have the fence there to keep the riffraff out from your site. But we just have a few more sites to go by. This is another one of the pull-through sites across from the bathhouse. I do think the paved ones are for handicap access or accessible sites, whatever the PC term is now. But if you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you found it helpful, leave us a comment. We love reading those. If there's things we could do better, please let us know. What would help you? We put these out there for my use too, and everybody else's, to kind of get a good view of the campsites, to know what's around. I've noticed a lot of them where people drive through the campground, or they go by really quick and you can't get a good view of the site. So I do mine at walking speed. Hopefully they're not too slow and boring for you. See, there's the bathhouse again. Each bathhouse is closed at different times during the day for cleaning. And it is posted at what time they're closed. See, this one is currently closed for cleaning. So it must be between 10:30 and 12. So I just threw this in here to be kind of silly at the end of the video. Thanks for watching.